Okay, YouTubers. I just did a video where I told you about the ways to take the carburetor out. And unfortunately, I'm by myself and using a phone and couldn't use two hands to show it to you. So, let me give you a hint. In the very beginning of the other video, or the next video, depending on how these post, I told you to take these two screws out. The black ones only. Well, yeah, the black screws right there are what, let me see if I can point it out. That black screw right there and the black screw on the other side do have to come out. That's what holds your carburetor. But that screw up there is also a 10mm, and that helps hold this plastic housing in place so it doesn't flex. But as I found out, I forgot the first time I took it out, I had removed that thinking that was part of the carburetor attachment. But it does give this plate enough flex to flex away from the carburetor. And as you can see by this carburetor, when it's hooked up, this butterfly is open. So when you close that butterfly, it opens that butterfly. And unfortunately, both of them won't close at the same time. So you can't just slide the carburetor straight out. But if you loosen that screw on the inside, the silver one, you can push this plate far enough. You can put your hand up here and push that away enough to get that carburetor. You tilt it this way, and I would make sure the back is closed, because that gasket on the back of this flange right here is pretty stuck on there. And if you can get away with not deteriorating it, it should work just fine again. I didn't have to replace mine. And then with that closed, which is this lever being this direction, this will open, but you can push this far enough away that you can slide that out. Again, I mentioned to you that I added an extension on here, so when I had the carburetor out, I don't have to fight with disconnecting that. It's such a bitch to get that back in there. You have to reach over, and there's no room. As you can see, this is the top of the motorhome, and it just sucks. But the spring and the small arm go in the same hole right here. The larger one goes in there. And that's my $60 carburetor from Amazon. So I believe I showed you guys how to test it and jump it and other things in the other video. Make sure you cover this up so you don't short it out when you're getting the filter in and out of there. It says starter solenoid and it's exposed. So let's fill it with fuel, and we're gonna find out if we can get this puppy, if it works as good as I hope it does. Let's see. Wow, that was awesome. No issues. So this helped a lot. I used this with a short, flexible, doggone it, 10mm. It's just a Malco fitting, and this flexible head socket. So this makes it a lot easier to get to those screws inside there, because you can stick this whole thing in. It fits to the screws. You just unwind it. You want to make sure you just snug it down, don't put a wrench on it and torque it. It's aluminum, and that makes sure there's no leak at this gasket. If you let air in, it's going to run funky. You're not going to run right. So now that you got it running and you're all done, make sure you bleed this and get all the fuel out of the bowl so it doesn't sit there and varnish your floats and your orifices and everything else. And I'm happy to see it going. Good times. We're gonna fire it up again, let it run a little bit. Not enough prime. Prime it. About 8 seconds.